Here, Tiana Taylor up that security guard. I love her.
Look, even I know better than to impede Tiana Taylor. That woman is a live action Street Fighter character.
I know. I'm just envisioning someone like as big as like Michael Clark Duncan, rest his soul, being like, whoops.
She would drop him.
Yes.
KO. I'm former movie Trivia Schmodown singles champion Marisol McKee, aka Lady Justice.
And I'm former movie Trivia Schmodown singles champion Adam the Coyote Collins. We had another Oscars, m'lady. We made a small wager ahead of this year's Oscars.
We both chose Sinners to win Best Picture.
Yeah.
If One Battle After Another happened to win, we would have to do our reaction video with you dressed up as Bob.
Well, you know, it's a good robe. Fathers who love their daughters and families like to be comfortable. That's the message of One Battle After Another.
Ain't that the truth, Ruth? Going into this night, we were particularly excited because a lot of races seemed, wider open than they were before.
Mm-hmm.
It was exhilarating.
I was nervous even for the ones that felt like a little bit more of a sure thing. Specifically, Jessie Buckley comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
First Irish winner for Best Actress.
The big crown at the end of the night went to One Battle After Another. It won 6 awards total. Yes, Bobs of the world rejoice. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor, Best Casting, and Best Editing. Close behind that was indeed Sinners. Sinners won some major awards. They won Best Original Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Score, and Best Actor. Frankenstein won 3. It cleaned up in the technical categories, as a lot of people predicted it would. It did win Best Costume, Best Production Design, and Best Makeup. Yep. K-pop came through and did indeed win Best Animated Feature and Best Song for Golden.
Yes. And I just got to say, so fun watching at least part of this broadcast with my daughter. She's a big K-pop Demon Hunters fan. The next morning, I let her see the acceptance speech for Golden and the performance of Golden, and she was so excited. Good for you, K-pop. This was quite a show. We had Conan back. Oh my God.
I know you were excited about that.
I was so excited because last year he was electric. I've always loved Mr. O'Brien. He's been terrific since forever. And the thing I love most is how liberated he is in his post-late night career.
You went gaga for that opening sketch where he just ran his way through all of the Best Picture nominees dressed as Aunt Gladys from Weapons. Aunt Gladys looked good with her K-pop glow up, let me tell you.
Damn, did Conan deliver. My daughter, she was looking at me like I might have problems during the entire opening segment.
Yeah, because you were cackling like a banshee. I could not get enough of how much Conan was coming at 10 Sarandos and Netflix. Give me all of it.
Conan's always got his thumb on the pulse, especially now in this moment. It's important to call out the heavy-hitting streamers for their obligation to the theatrical industry. It's incredibly important. It's genuinely amusing to see him rub his hands together with that Machiavellian flair and just make fun of Mr. Sarandos.
Right to his face. He kept pointing out not only at Netflix, but just, the TikTokification of cinema. Brilliant.
That is how a lot of the world views their media now.
It was a night of getting passionate and angry and protecting the industry.
Because it's incredibly important right now with all of this merging and overlapping and monopolizing of the film industry for people to pause and actually revisit the concept of what makes a film possible. This is an art form. It matters.
Be still your little Star Wars loving heart when that Grogu cameo came on.
All right, look, Kate Hudson had the best seat in the house. She knew it. We knew it. We were all jealous. Grogu will get his time next year, I'm sure, at the Oscars. But this is a little preview.
The In Memoriam segment is typically an easy target for criticism, but I thought it was quite tasteful this year. It ran longer than it typically would, and that's because it was interspersed with highlight testimonials to some of the absolute titans that we lost this year. Billy Crystal opened with a supremely touching homage to Rob
Mhm.
Reiner, of course, and
Mhm.
his wife.
And the Princess Bride music, perfect touch.
And then we concluded with Barbara Streisand singing The Way We Were in remembrance of her dear friend, Robert Redford.
Like any industry, there's a legion of people we lose every year, and In Memoriam only scratches the surface. I know that. But I thought it was a great segment. So I just want to touch on the screenplays for a minute because I think this is a great example of sharing the love. I mean, screenplay is one of those things where we do have that advantage, and I love it. I figured Paul Thomas Anderson was a lock for best adapted screenplay for One Battle After Another, but I personally thought he should have won for There Will Be Blood. Even though I love No Country for Old Men, I think it's excellent. I think adapting There Will Be Blood was a more difficult task because the book Oil by Upton Sinclair is a very dense novel, and it's not exactly character driven, it's not exactly plot driven, it's very dry, and he extracted a story from that. He's very talented at adapting stuff, and I was not upset to see him win this. Similarly, I was very excited to see Ryan Coogler win his first Oscar.
Yes.
It was so nice to know when he was holding that statue and accepting that honor that no matter what happened, Ryan Coogler was not going home empty handed.
Could feel the genuine emotion from his
Yeah.
acceptance speech. He was overcome, but just present in it as well.
And to my babies that are at home watching, I apologize for all the time away. Dad loves you. Memories are all we have. I hope I'll give you some great ones.
My personal tradition in cinematography is getting really excited for Robert Eggers movies and then watching them lose. But one of his movies is not nominated this year.
You love to hear it when this kind of history is made. Autumn Durald Archipel became the first woman ever to win the Oscar for Best Cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
She was at the top of her game with this film. It's a well-deserved win in a very competitive year, mind you. Considering the fact that we got our very first female nominee ever in the cinematography category just 8 years ago with
nuts.
Rachel Morrison,
Yeah.
this is phenomenal that we've arrived at this point this quickly.
The thing I really enjoy about the Oscars and all award shows at their best in any industry is when peers lift each other up. And Autumn Durald Arkapaw articulated that beautifully when she was on stage.
I really want all the women in the room to stand up because I feel like I don't get here without you guys.
It's only by opening doors for each other that any of us get ahead. Sinners was an instantly iconic looking film, and I'm so happy she won this. Ludwig Göransson won Best Score, woot woot.
Third.
His third win.
The guy's 40.
That guy just blows my mind because he's so diversified with the way he approaches music.
Ludwig Göransson is operating right now like early 90s Hans Zimmer. He is full throttle, making every film from every genre, using every opportunity to explore
And
a
TV.
new style of music.
Yeah. I cannot wait to see what he does for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Hold on to your butts.
Amy Madigan won Best Supporting Actress for Weapons. I wanted this. I'm not going to deny it. Amy Madigan's a blast on screen and off screen. I've always loved her acting. It's awesome for horror fans and the horror genre.
It was a great day for kooky aunts everywhere, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. Best Supporting Actor, I was not surprised to see Sean Penn win. And Sean Penn was instantly iconic as Lockjaw. The hair, the arms, the performance.
The walk.
I was rooting for Delroy Lindo. Yes, I'll admit there was a bit of a legacy thing there.
It's a sensitive subject because I know that Sean Penn is very much one of the more prickly celebrities in the Hollywood landscape. But I think it made sense for Penn to get it simply because his performance popped the most in its respective film. But the narrative outside of it in the scheme of things, it does hurt knowing that Sean Penn could not care less about this Oscar, and it would have meant the world to actors of the caliber and with the longevity and the careers of Delroy Lindo and Stellan Skarsgård. It would have meant the world.
The fact that Sean Penn was Lockjaw, Harvey Milk, and Spicoli,
Yeah, that's range.
that's range for sure. So respect.
Respect. I could smell it in the air that the Academy was ready to honor Paul Thomas Anderson.
while I'll admit I was a little disappointed on Ryan Coogler's behalf, given some time to think about it, Paul Thomas Anderson is a legend. He's a living legend. We're lucky to have him.
What is clear is that Paul Thomas Anderson, this like Licorice Pizza, he's in a phase of his career where he's making movies that are personal to him. He made one battle after another, as he said, because he wanted to make a film for his children, to remind them to be better people.
And one battle after another, compared to some of his other movies, in my opinion, is a little more casual, a little more downbeat, and a little more directionless compared to some of his focused, striking stories. That's not me saying the movie is not without merit. I think it's great in a lot of ways. But I also think there's something to be said about breaking the mold. And when I watched Sinners, it broke rules. That was the difference. For me, if I were the Academy in this outfit,
Were vampires too much, though?
no.
I
I
don't
think
know.
for the Academy, they were.
That's what
Not for
I'm
us.
asking.
Yeah,
No, that's what I'm
yeah,
asking.
yeah.
The Academy's not going to suddenly be horror aficionados overnight.
It's about being comfortable. And I think the vampire element made certain voters uncomfortable.
Man, Bob, you're really betraying your family here. You just gonna jump ship for Sinners like that?
As we discussed, I lost a bet.
Baby, you didn't even know you lost the bet. You just arrived for this video in that outfit.
Viva la revolution!
And the Oscar goes to Michael B. Jordan.
This was the most breathlessly anticipated envelope read of the night for me. Definitely the best actor one. You could hear a pin drop in there right before Adrian Brody said Michael B. Jordan's name.
Oh my goodness. I was quite blown away with what Michael B. Jordan did, because we've seen some twin performances over the years. He was funny, he was intimidating, he was moving, and I just got to say, I fell in love with those characters more as time went on because they lingered in my imagination. That's what's special about it.
Look, did I think that Timothy was going to pull out the win? I did. But little Timmy C will live to fight another day. That guy already has 3 Oscar nominations for Best Actor by 30 years old.
You're gonna be fine, buddy.
Michael B. Jordan has had a reputation for a lot of time in Hollywood as being a great movie star, but not earned his stripes as a award-worthy actor. So it was just an invigorating moment to have him rise to the occasion, be acknowledged for this performance, arrive, and project that energy back outward into the room.
I feel it. I know you guys want me to do well, and I want to do that because you guys bet on me.
Michael B. Jordan stands on his own merit, but he also recognizes history, and I loved his speech.
We doom and gloom a lot about the state of the movie industry, but we're all eating good at a year at the Oscars when we have too many things to choose from for Best Picture. And I will say this, Paul Thomas Anderson, he made a very gracious point when he was up on stage where he referenced the 1975 class of Best Picture nominees.
Dog Day Afternoon, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Jaws, Nashville, and Barry Lyndon. There is no best.
Yes, he won the gold statuette that night, but time remembers excellent films, regardless of what they won. And I thought that was a classy touch on his acceptance speech. In the scheme of things, I think that Sinners is going to be revealed to be a meteor movie and the film that should have eked out the win.
Look, I'm just going to say it. A few years ago, Green Book won. I didn't like it. That said, this is not a Green Book situation. One battle after another, I think it's undeniably entertaining because Paul Thomas Anderson that's what he does. And I don't think one battle after another is bereft of meaning. I think it has a lot on its mind. Sinners, for me, just struck a more personal chord. I think that movie shines a light on an incredibly sensitive, terrifying, and frankly racist moment in our history without making it all about the terror and the racism, despite the fact that it's a horror movie. Against my better judgment, I sent my mother to see this movie, And I'm glad I did, because she walked away from it with a few things to discuss. And she was not mad at seeing this movie. She also has a little crush on Michael B. Jordan.
Who doesn't?
Another Oscars, another year, 2 more before the 100th Oscars. It's going to be epic. And then we switch to YouTube. But you know what? I'm ready for it. You ready for it?
No.
Okay, well, I just want Conan to keep hosting, and then I'll be happy.
Not if that post-credits scene had anything to do with it. Damn.
I don't think there were any losers this year, except for maybe Marty Supreme. And
The irony.
I think splitting the love between One Battle After Another and Sinners, I think those 2 movies offer a nice blended tapestry of the moment.
Y'all gonna miss Warner Brothers when it's gone. So where can people find us out in the cosmos?
At Champs on Film on Twitter, Instagram, and now Blue Sky.
Woo!
We are there. Follow us everywhere.
Ta-da!
What's your name again? What is your name? What is your name? Tell me your name.
Yeah, you know how I know you're Bob?
Oh, my Bob.
I could insert you perfectly in that, and not a word would change.
Well, look, I identify with being caught up in a Kafkaesque nightmare every time I'm on the goddamn phone. Sabotage, ladies and gentlemen, sabotage.